Alright, so to clean it, I have taken all the cotton out of the coils, gently tugging it a little bit this way, a little bit that way. You don't want to be ever doing anything to the coils to actually move them, because if you do, you'll get hot spots, and I may or may not be able to show you that. I actually dunk this in water and then just set it on some paper towel to dry for a little while. So just little flutters like that. So you can see the char buildup. And one more time. And if there's any stuff left on them, you can just use your metal or your ceramic tweezers. Never hurts to just check and make sure that everything's tight. There, so that's about what you want. You want them to heat up evenly. This is, you can't really explain this over, you can explain it, but can't really demonstrate it too much. I take this much cotton, try to get the same amount for your other side. So here, take it and you do your best to roll just the tip up pretty small. Get that there. A little bit more. So again, you don't want to be pulling too much. Sometimes you have to brace the coil a little bit. So now take one of the points of my pointy pointers and I'm just gently brushing its hair. Kind of trying to fluff it up. So now I pretty much put my scissors right up against the outer base here. Keep these straight out from the coils. Cut them both. And then what you want to do is you want to make sure that you get the first side perfect. Because the last thing you want to do is cut both sides and then you find out it's too short. So I fluff it out like this into as much of a circle as I can. So, so now, like running parallel with the coils, I snip the sides off from top down, and then flush with the bottom of the coil, I'll trim that off at a little bit of an angle. So that it looks like that. Now what I'm doing is I'm pinching my tweezers together, and I literally just pull it under the coil, tuck it in, and then I will just gently push it back so that it's sitting over top of the holes. And so the biggest difference in how much flavor you get is how much air space is underneath these coils. If you got too much cotton under here, it's not going to allow airflow under the coil. So you'll have to change your cotton sooner, and you're not going to be getting a whole lot of flavor. Which is why you give it that little bit of a angled, that's why you give it this cut here, is to remove some of that excess cotton that isn't actually necessary. Okay, so you do both of those same way. So then same. So again, fluff it out, make it a circle. Trim, trim. So again, you got to make sure the hole is totally covered. It's okay if a little bit of cotton goes down in it, but the point is not to have the cotton pointing straight down. Some people do it, they get it to work. I've always heard that this method is the best flavor. It's a little more complicated, but once you get the hang of it, it doesn't actually take any more time, and it's a lot easier to see if you've got the right amount of cotton in it or not. So the next part is you take your Big Dog Coffee Crisp chocolate bar juice that just arrived in the mail. 4 bottles for $94 with including shipping. And so I just put like a drop on each coil and spread it evenly. Give it a second to soak in. Another drop, and then a very quick pulsing of the button. I'll make a noise to let you know how long I'm holding it for. And then do it again with the coils just a little bit warm. So the point of this is once the coils start heating up, they absorb the juice more. And then the cotton also, when it gets just a little bit of heat, absorbs the juice more. So this is called priming. I'm sure you're familiar with the term. This prevents any dry hits. As soon as I put the top on and fill it up, I can start vaping. And then before you go to put the top on, you're just going to do a quick check all the way around. Make sure like a couple hairs of cotton coming down over this lip is okay, but you don't want to have too much because then when you put your top on, it can actually pull the cotton all sorts of directions. And then again, with your tweezers, you're just kind of making sure you got a pretty good channel on the bottom there, so that you can, now that there's juice on it, they're moist enough to be a little bit more pliable, you know what I mean? So, there we go. Also, if you do put this in water, shake it out with this open, close it, shake it out that way as well. Delicious. And this is my Coil Master kit. It's nice and old, tried, tested, and true. And my favorite for flavor, cotton bacon. It's delicious. I usually get about a week per coil change. And there we go.